Black Ops 6 Zombies isn't even here yet, but in this video we are talking about the very first DLC map because Treyarch have already announced it's coming, we know when, and we may have one or two details from leaked code strings to suggest small idea on what this first Zombies map is going to be. So if that sounds good to you, buckle up, subscribe to keep yourself up to date with the latest on Black Ops 6 Zombies. But jumping straight in, we are talking about DLC 1 for Black Ops 6 Zombies because it was confirmed at Call of Duty Next that in Season 1, we are going to be getting our first DLC map, which means by the end of 2024, there will be 3 Zombies maps available to play in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Here is the exact explanation about it from the man himself, Kevin Drew, over at COD NEXT and during the COD Pod interview.
Speaking of things to come, Treyarch team, we've obviously got 2 awesome maps at launch, but what can you tell us? You know, what do you got in store for us and beyond that on the live seasons?
So what I can say is that the next map is going to be coming by the end of this year.
Oh,
and that is going to be
round-based zombies map.
Really setting the tone for how all in and round-based we are this year.
yeah, that's quite significant. I mean, you're just so many options for ways to be able to play. That has to feel pretty good for you guys and the team to be able to deliver so much like this.
It feels amazing.
Yeah, I'm personally I think we're all just really stoked about all the maps that we're going to come with. Everything just helps kind of tell the story and just pair all the maps themselves pair with the story we're trying to tell. So yeah, we're all really excited.
Before the end of the year, we'll be getting our 3rd map.
This is news to me. I did not know this.
We broke news on the COD Pod. Heard it here first.
It keeps happening.
Also on the next broadcast.
Wow. Over the next year, when we say we're all in on round-based zombies, I think you're gonna feel that.
Right off the bat, this is really, really good news because in comparison to previous years, we got the first DLC for Cold War Firebase Z during Season 1, but it wasn't until several months after the game's release. Season 1 is due to begin at the end of November / early December, which means that we will have a new map after just a month and a bit of the game's launch. And the last time we got a DLC map this early on was Dead of the Night for Black Ops 4 Zombies, but outside of that, Treyarch has never released the first DLC map so early after the game's launch. It's normally always at the start of the following year. And like Kevin said, it does reiterate just how important Treyarch are taking zombies this year. And I mean, we've had so many years to wait for the round-based experience to come back that you would hope so, but it is definitely exciting and reassuring news. What's also extremely exciting is according to David Burdett, part of GamingTrend.com, I actually got to meet at COD NEXT, a big shout out to you. He wrote an article for Gaming Trend where he got to sit down for a interview with the Associate Director of Design Matt Scrons and Director of Production Yael Miller to take on some questions that they had after they played at COD NEXT. And when specifically talking about zombies in the article, he mentions about live service and how Treyarch have their own plans for events, for there to always be something building on what Treyarch does will be how they tackle their live service. But with round-based zombies being back, Treyarch apparently have plans for the biggest post-launch experience Zombies has ever received, with the Director of Production Yael Miller thinking that we'll all be very happy with the sheer volume of Zombies content that they have planned. What exactly that means beyond the scope of traditional Zombies DLC maps, I don't know, but that sounds really promising. We're gonna have to see exactly what they mean, but I hope that means a lot more than just the typical DLC maps. Like, this could mean a ton more things. It could mean multiple new modes. Again, you'd like to think with there being 4 years of development that they've had enough time to really flesh this out to have a ton of different content options. Now, with the first DLC for this game, it needs to set the precedent going forward throughout all of the DLC season. If we look at other games like Horizon Drac as the first DLC for Black Ops 3, that really set a bar of how high quality the experiences are going to be throughout the year. And in my opinion, the first DLC map is the one that Treyarch have to absolutely nail because it's the first thing that's going to come out after the game's release, and if it doesn't grab players, then they're probably not going to stick around for the entire DLC season. So let's talk about DLC 1. So all we officially know is that it is coming before the end of 2024, which means it's coming pretty quickly after the release of Season 1, which is absolutely huge. Outside of that, we don't actually know anything officially, but what we do know is that during the Black Ops 6 beta, there was that Steam leak where a bunch of in-game code was revealed by Steam's depot, which is where the classic mode leaks originated from, as that was apparently one of the game modes, where there was also apparently code that tied to zombies maps coming in the future, with the main specific map that was mentioned in the code being called codename Janus Towers. Now, we've got to take everything regarding this with a huge pinch of salt, because we're talking about leaks from a beta version of the game, which could be incredibly outdated or cut content, but it's the main map name that people were able to find and has been shared around the internet for the last few weeks. And there is some assumption that the towers that you can see right in the very background of one of the screenshots of Liberty Falls, specifically the church, really far off in the distance in the background, you can see some pretty tall buildings that some people assume are towers, which is where this could be linked to, but I highly doubt that the map will be in the same location as Liberty Falls. It just doesn't make any sense, and we've never ever seen a zombies map that has the location take place like right next to another one straight afterwards. It's just never happened before. I don't think Treyarch would do that, and especially with the feedback that's been given so far about Liberty Falls, it wouldn't be the greatest decision they've made to have a zombies map take place exactly in the same location straight after that. But again, that is just down to some community assumption. There is no proof or basis to prove that that is true, and I firmly believe that this will be a brand new map in a brand new location that we've never seen before. But the biggest question is, where is it going to be? I mean, we've got an island map and we've got a town map. So far in the Dark Ether universe, they've seen them play it pretty safely by just having facility type maps, and I think they really want to beat that stereotype going into Black Ops 6. So I think this should firmly be something very new and different for DLC 1. For me, I'd love to see them explore the actual Dark Ether itself a lot more. Like, we're getting the church area of Liberty Falls to be in the Dark Ether, and that's like a seamless transition sort of thing. But I really want like a D machine level, or maybe even where that entire map is just permanently purged into the Dark Ether, and we just have these incredible design and aesthetics where things are floating. We've got the crazy lightning in the sky. We have the purples. We even see some of the reds that we got to see in Vanguard's Terra Maledicta Dark Ether area. Let me know down below in the comments where you would want DLC 1 to be set. But obviously, we have the name of a zombies map, Janus Towers. Now, again, we don't even know if this is the name of the first DLC map. This could be the name of just a DLC in Black Ops 6. That could be DLC 2, DLC 3, DLC 4. We just don't know. To me, Janus Towers almost sounds like the penultimate zombies map, just based on how important we know Project Janus is in this game. To have a zombies map codenamed Janus Towers, it just makes it sound like the entire map is focused solely on Janus, that storyline, the project, everything like that, with Richtofen. Clearly, what we saw in the Liberty Falls cutscene is part of Janus headquarters, but clearly that's not the biggest part of Janus itself. There's clearly something a lot more. And in terms of a location, looking at Cold War's intel, we only have West Virginia and the teaser from Peck about an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which are these two launch maps. Outside of that, we genuinely have no idea where Janus Towers could be, and we might actually have to wait until we get Black Ops 6 and then get some of the intels, maybe see if it hints towards the name of Janus Towers and maybe a location. But again, I don't really think this could be DLC 1 necessarily, just from the fact that, again, Janus is the full focus from the narrative aspect of Richtofen, and it sounds like a map that would almost conclude that story. I could be completely wrong with that assumption, but I just feel like there has to be something else in between before we end up at Janus Towers. But at the moment, it is just way too early to really speculate with any accurate info on the game. But again, I'd love to know your thoughts down below, and the fact that Treyarch are going to have a DLC out by the end of the year means 3 maps before the end of 2024. I think that's pretty awesome, but we'll just have to see what Treyarch have been cooking in terms of how much of a banger this DLC 1 map is going to be. Let me know your thoughts down below, but be sure to subscribe to keep yourself up to date with everything Black Ops 6. And if you want to watch another video, then why not click this one? It's on your screen right now. Click it, I'll be with you in a moment.